to Those Forking Fangirls, where we talk all things nerdy, book, TV, movie, pop culture, fandoms, and how they integrate into our adult lives. This is episode 9. I'm Christine.
And I'm Natasha.
And today is the second to last day of the year. We're about to go into 2023, and we are going to do sort of a story time episode where we go through our 22 moments that made our 2022, which should be really fun. We're going to look at the good and the not so good that really marked our year as memorable, and when we think back, we want to remember these little moments that made us really happy, as well as the ones that were intense and difficult. But before we dive into 22 moments that made our 2022, we are going to do our Snap, Crackle, Pop Culture News, as always. Yes. So this past week in real time, the Golden Globe nominations were announced, which is not the most exciting award show in general to me. Do you like the Golden Globes, Natasha?
Well, I mean, I have in the past because I feel like it's a more intimate type of award ceremony
setting.
And I'd love to see everyone like at the little tables and canoodling together.
Yeah. And they're like getting drunk together and shit.
But last year they received a lot of criticism, and I'm all here for that criticism. So there's a lot of people boycotting. There's a lot of actors boycotting this year.
Are they making changes though, or no?
They are making changes. But maybe it's a little too late for some people, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they make some good changes and get some more diverse representation up in there. Mm-hmm. But what really interests me about the Golden Globes are just really seeing the nominations and knowing what's going to be in the Oscar mix. It's like a prep to start watching. If you're a film person, you start watching these movies so that you're ready to have watched all the Best Picture nominations for the Oscars. I'm one of those people where the Oscars are my Super Bowl, and I like to have seen everything. And so I was looking at these very excited to see what I had to watch. What do I need to get ready for? And there was a Golden Globe nomination for Taylor Swift. I could not mention this. Yeah, for her song Carolina, for Where the Crawdads Sing.
Oh,
and
shoot.
Yes, the author of Where the Crawdads Sing is problematic. There are murder allegations against her. But that song was really good, and that story through the movie, because I saw the film, was really compelling. And after you watch the movie and then you listen to Taylor Swift's song again, it's really chilling, and it makes so much more sense. Because before I really liked it. It sounds like a Civil War song. I don't know. Have you listened to Carolina? I'm sure you have, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But after you watch the movie and then you listen again, it's like, okay. It's a great song. And then Lady Gaga was nominated. These are my two favorite artists, Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift. Lady Gaga was nominated for Hold My Hand, with the song she wrote for Top Gun Maverick, which is exciting. Did you like that song?
Oh, I did, yeah. Have you seen Top Gun yet?
I have not. I have to see it. It's on my list, and it's nominated, so definitely gotta watch it. But so I don't know if this is normal for the Golden Globes, because I've really only paid attention to the Oscars. So they have a category for Best Picture Drama and Best Picture Comedy Musical, and I knew they did that for TV, but did they always do that for movies, or was it all lumped together usually as Best Picture? They always broke it up?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
It's typically always broken up, even within like the actor and actresses category.
They're always broken up there. Mm-hmm. Actor, actresses.
No, I mean like actor in a comedy in a comedy movie.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I mean,
They
I know
always break it up for the actors, but I don't know if they do it for the picture, like the actual award for like best picture.
They do it for the picture because I remember one year Deadpool was nominated, and that was in like the comedy musical category, and that was the year that Andrew Garfield. They're like, he's like, if you win, instead of kissing Blake, you're gonna kiss me. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that story from Ryan. Okay. All right. Well, for Best Picture this year, do you want me to tell you the noms, or do you want to read the noms off since I'm
Tell me. I
nominating?
haven't. I want to be
All right, you
surprised.
haven't
I don't
looked at
know.
this. Okay. Okay, we've got for drama, Top Gun Maverick. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
I liked it
on my end. Elvis. You've seen that too, right?
Yes.
You didn't like it. Your face says I did not like Elvis.
Here's the thing though, back to Elvis.
Okay.
It's an incredible, he's just, I don't
an incredible performance.
I mean, it's an incredible performance. I just don't love like biopics of real people. It's extremely sad, his life.
Yeah.
And the way he dies, like I turned it off, honestly. Like it was too much for me to watch.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it, because I heard it was very devastating, and I was too anxious for that. So the next one is Tar. Have you seen that one? I didn't even know about it, but I
haven't, but I want to watch it. It's about Cate Blanchett plays a composer.
Okay, The Fabelmans. Have you heard anything about that? Because I have not. You seem to know all the movies, and I have the list, so this works. Oh, Steven Spielberg has a movie?
I think so. I think that's about his life.
What?
I think so.
Okay, I've never heard of this. And the last film nominated is Avatar: The Way of Water, which is Avatar 2, of course. I am so excited to see it with my mom when I go home. I was so disappointed when I heard that my brother already went on Friday. I was like, I wanted to see that. I'm coming home.
I know, my cousin last night was like, "Oh, we're gonna go see Avatar tomorrow with my friends." I'm like, "No, we're all gonna go see it together when everyone gets in town. You can't go watch it. I'm sorry."
No, how dare you? And my mom's like, "Did you tell him you wanted to see it together?" I was like, "No, but it's like assumed, isn't it?"
That's what I said. I'm like, whoa. The Fabelmans is okay. I was right. The Fabelmans is the Steven Spielberg movie about his life.
Okay, interesting. I did not know he had one. I guess I'm gonna have to watch that.
You know why I know all this stuff is because I've been watching all the like the actors roundtables and actors on actors.
Oh, stuff. Yeah. So best pick musical comedy, we've got Glass Onion nominated, which is exciting. Mm-hmm. Did you see Glass Onion yet? No, right?
Not yet, no.
I am so excited. That's coming on the 23rd, I think, to Netflix. Then Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I absolutely loved.
Yes.
And The Banshee, which I thought was tragic. Yeah.
It was terrible.
Why isn't it a comedy musical? That's the one that Taylor Swift talked to the director on Director and Directors.
Watch that too, yeah. Did you watch Banshee?
Not yet. No, because I thought it was going to be really sad. Now I feel like I have to watch it, obviously, because of Taylor Swift and the nomination.
It's not
in the comedy section.
It's not that sad. It's really not that sad. It's a little bit like quirky, but it's I mean, yeah, there's stuff that goes down that you're just like, what is happening? But yeah.
And then the last one is, oh wait, no, there's two more. Babylon, which Margot Robbie is in, Jean Smart is in, Brad Pitt is in. I'm excited about this movie. I have no idea what it's about, but I just saw the cast list and I need to see it, obviously. Have you heard anything about Babylon?
I have. I think a couple of my friends saw it recently, but it's very funny.
Is it about the seven? Okay, sorry.
It's about early Hollywood, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, like 1920s Hollywood.
Okay. And then the last one is Triangle of Sadness. Never heard of that.
Never heard of that in my life. I don't know what that is.
All right. Sounds sad, but it's in the comedy section. All right. Before we move into what right now, we want to thank our patrons this week and let you know if you're on the Team Polis Bananas tier, we have some updates over there. I posted the guest doc, so for the Be Our Guest perk, where you get to come on the show and be a guest. We are going to start bringing y'all on the show next year. We're starting to schedule out everything and plan our episodes. And if you are interested in being on the show and you're in the Team Polis Bananas tier, just fill out the guest form. That way we can get to know you, get to know what you're interested in, what you like your expertises are, so we can form the episode accordingly. And we're very excited about that. And we just had our second fangirl bonding hangout. Which was super fun, which is another perk of the Team Polis Bananas tier. All right. So maybe should we thank our new patrons? We have like 2 new people, I think, or something. I don't remember where we left off. So
Melissa, I think it was Grace. I think we only have one person that I see right now. This is a day ago, a week ago. Yeah, it was only Grace. I mean, this Choose Velvet. Okay.
All right. Shelby thought she missed it. You didn't miss anything. All right. And thank you to our new patron this week, Choose Velvet. We're very happy to have you. And if anyone else is I'm so sorry, Jake, that this is like an edit heavy little section here. Okay, if you're interested in supporting the show and becoming a patron, we have a lot of cool perks over there, including the ones I just mentioned. Be a guest on the show, fangirl bonding time, where we have Zoom hangouts once a month, and we have our main perk, which is Fangirl Tea Time, 30-minute show after the regular show, where we dive into more personal stories and personal things that we're just not as comfortable saying on the main show. It's a super fun time. It's my favorite. So, and you don't have to be a patron to support the show. Natasha, how can they support the show without being a patron? How can we support the show for free?
So you can tell friends and family if you're enjoying our show. Word of mouth really helps. Even following us on all of our social media. So that's Forking Fangirls on Instagram, Fork Fangirls Pod on Twitter. We're gonna start up our TikTok in the new year and post more there. So that's Forking Fangirls, and just interacting with us there, and that always helps. And you can always share our posts or stories to your stories, because that's like a word of mouth thing there as well. And also rating and reviewing us.
Podcast. Yeah. On your favorite podcast app. And follow the podcast for free on your favorite podcast app. That's really helpful so that we know that the episodes are getting out to you. Mm-hmm. And if you watch the visual version, we are on YouTube, youtube.com/@thoseforkingfangirls, and you can subscribe for free there so that those are coming to your feed and you're not missing an episode. And it's really helpful for us and the show. Thank you so much for any and all support. We are always appreciative. All right, we're going to move on to what right now. Natasha, starting with books, what are you reading this week?
So I'm still reading Shadow in the Ember. And
that great title.
And I started Christine's 3rd book. Obviously can't talk about it, but I'm enjoying it.
Yay. Well, thank you for starting. I appreciate it. I just handed it in a few days ago, so it's just like still in my mind, like all the time. I just finished I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy was very, very, very heavy. So I would definitely warn
me
look up trigger
specifically
warnings.
to not read
I don't
it.
think Natasha should read it. I don't think anyone with eating disorder sensitivities should read it. It's very graphic, and I was triggered so much, and I, don't have an eating disorder, but it was still very anxiety inducing. So it was very well written and very good, but definitely a challenge to get through at times. And I'm planning to start back up House of Sky and Breath, but I haven't. House of Breath and Sky. Breath and House. I always say this wrong. Is it House of Breath and Sky? Crescent City 2. I'm planning to start it back up. But last night I wanted to start another rom-com, so I downloaded Sally Thorne's Second Chance.
You need to finish Crescent City 2. I'm not going to sit here for another few months while you haven't finished it, and we have to talk about A Court of Thorns and Roses. That's bullshit. Finish the damn book.
I will finish it. I just know that I'm not going to have time to record the book talk in New Jersey. I'm going to have to record it when I get back. So I have to plan my finish accordingly.
Excuses.
We're going to record a siblings tag. So at this point, hopefully we've already recorded it. So it's going to be busy. And I have 2 other videos to edit. So we'll see. TV shows. What did you watch, Natasha?
I started Love is Blind season 3.
Nice. Oh, that's a fun one.
I'm so happy with the couples, but you all told me that the men are dumb, and I'm like, great. I don't have a lot of faith in all these people, but
You can already tell who's dumb.
I'm at the part they're in Malibu, and it's so funny because where they're staying is where the Rings of Power premiere was. And
oh my god, I was thinking that when I was watching it looked familiar.
Yeah, so I was there.
Very nice.
What about you? What are you watching?
Well, I finished Survivor season 43, and it had a surprising end that I was not expecting. And they've been doing this thing where they read the votes immediately instead of waiting to read them live because since COVID, they were just, because they couldn't have a live audience. And then Jeff, the host, liked it, even though it was kind of shitty the first 2 times they did it. Because you can't go as deep into what you've learned on the show and what life's been like since if you're not having that time between recording it and then watching it play out on TV and having that perspective. So the discussions just weren't as interesting to me the first 2 times they did it, but this time it was like Jeff asked much better questions, prompted much better discussion. So it was actually a really nice after show, which I was pleased with. But overall, it wasn't the best Survivor season in terms of excitement. I am excited for the new cast because in the trailer it made it look like there's a lot of different characters, a lot of fun people on the next season. So we'll see.
Yeah. I just have to point out that we're both wearing gray sweaters.
Mine's tan, but it looks gray here.
Oh, Nicole said, did you watch the new Barbie movie teaser trailer?
No, yes! Don't say anything. I've been avoiding it.
But you can watch it, though, because it's literally like 20 seconds, and all they do in the first scene is that they redo...
Wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me. It's a spoiler.
There's no plot given at all. What they do is...
Okay, well, I'll watch it without knowing, though, because now you're going to spoil the trailer.
Fine, but I'm most excited for this movie this year. I also have to say, hold on, because of Barbie, my my great uncle okay, here's a really fun story. So my mom used to work at Mattel Toys for Barbies, and because my uncle was a CFO. My great uncle, so her first uncle, was the CFO of Mattel Toys. And I saw him yesterday. I was like, are you excited for the Barbie movie? He's now been retired for 15 years. But he's like, yeah, I'm so excited for the Barbie movie. He's always so interested in what I do. So it's really fun that we have a very close connection concerning pop culture. So, and
cool.
I love Barbies, and my mother was obsessed and worked with Barbies all the time. So I am very excited for this movie.
I've been excited for this movie too because I know that Oh my God, I'm blanking on her name right now.
Margot
Little Women
Robbie.
director. Greta Gerwig.
Greta
Greta Gerwig
Gerwig,
is doing
yeah.
it. And she's fantastic. So I don't need any trailers to want to watch the Barbie movie. Everyone was posting the trailer, and I was like, get away from me! I don't watch trailers! All right, let's move on to movies so we can get into our main discussion. Natasha, did you watch anything this week?
Yes, I watched Black Adam.
Thoughts?
It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be, which was a good a thing, I guess. However, it was still so corny, and some of the dialogue was so stupid. I just don't understand. It's so frustrating now as I'm watching it, because I know James Gunn is already, like, you know, just redoing everything. But it's so frustrating because I remember The Rock was pushing this movie so hard, and he did so much work promoting it on his own socials, more than any other film he's ever been involved in. I feel bad for him in that way. But he also pushed to have Henry Cavill come in the end credit scene, and that was to get people excited for who Black Adam is. And then also, The Rock didn't want to be in Shazam, he's the main villain of Shazam, but he didn't want to be in Shazam because he wanted to be his own character. Anyways,
Wait, what are you talking about? He wasn't in Shazam.
That's the whole, yes. So the Black Adam is the arch nemesis of Shazam.
But he wasn't in the movie.
But he wasn't in the movie, but he doesn't want to be in any of the sequels.
Oh, but I love Shazam. It was so good.
Even though he's the main arch nemesis of Shazam. He literally says, because he's in that Shazam, like, world. So to get him in and out of his form, he has to say Shazam. So he says it in the movie, and it's so awkward. It's like, oh wait, I was really confused. I don't really know a lot of his backstory.
Shazam's the only good DC movie. Don't tell me they trashed that. Did they trash?
Oh no, they didn't
Shazam?
trash it. It's just
Okay.
like, we are never gonna see Shazam and Black Adam together.
Oh, who cares? Seth Cohen's in it. Adam Brody.
Yes.
My favorite.
But I watched it, and it's on HBO Max. It was okay.
Okay. Yeah, I've been seeing it pop up on HBO Max and just kind of ignoring it.
Yeah. I just got really sad
heard
when Henry was in the end credit scene. I was just like,
Mm.
this is the last time we see him.
Yeah, I saw you rewatch Superman this week.
Yes, I had to.
Man of Steel.
This
That's the most I've seen of Superman. She posted a
You've
little
never
clip
seen Man
on
of Steel?
Stories. No, I don't know if you remember, but all the film people I follow from England hated it, so I thought it was going to be bad.
It's just as good as Wonder Woman, in my opinion. Like, it's on that level. How did you not watch that and we went to go see Batman versus Superman together?
I didn't care. I don't like Superman, so I didn't care about Superman. And I didn't like Superman and Batman versus
all the
Superman.
characters that I love. You hate Mr. Darcy. You hate Superman. How are we even friends?
I like Batman. Specifically,
I like Batman
Bale.
too.
He's my favorite.
Specifically, Robert Pattinson.
He's my least favorite.
Abby says, Natasha, you have to hate Percy when you read Percy Jackson just to be fair. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's move on into our main discussion here. We are going to be talking 22 moments that made our 2022. We have 11 each. Natasha, why don't you kick us off? Give us a moment that made your 2022, marked it. What sticks out in your mind? Let's go through this. I actually didn't put mine in any order, so
I'm gonna start from the bottom, I think.
Okay. All right.
Because I'm gonna miss some. Oh my fucking god, what is happening? Do you hear
I
this?
can hear that. Yeah, but leaf blower fuckery just always happens at the most unwanted time.
Where is it? I can't tell. I can't see him.
Do you need to leave the room?
I don't know.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Patron section has some edits for sure. And then 31 minutes in. Lower.
Okay. I think he's moving away. Maybe? I don't know. No, he sounds like he's in the same spot.
Yeah, I mean, well, they shouldn't be here for more than 20 minutes in general anyway, so hopefully they'll move away. Leaf blowers are bad for the environment and our health because they kick like mold and shit into the air for everyone to inhale. I just learned that they did an episode about leaf blowers on Flightless Bird, which is under the Armchair umbrella. It's one of their shows. I learned so much.
He's moving away. I don't know.
You want to mute your mic and I'll go first? All right. So I'll kick us off with our first moment here. I'll start with a smaller one. But I had my first viral tweet this year just in time for Twitter to burn and die in flames. I mean, it's not dead, but it is a dumpster fire. And did you see my viral tweet, Natasha?
I did not. Please tell me what it is.
I can't hear it anymore if you want to leave yourself on it.
It just started
yes,
again.
I can. Never mind. They started again. All right. So I don't know if you saw on Halloween, Heidi Klum dressed up as a fucking worm. Are you responding? Are you turning on your thing? Okay. So Heidi Klum dressed up as a fucking worm for Halloween, and it looks horrifying. And all I could think when I saw this picture was Benedict Lightwood in Clockwork Princess. And so I wrote a tweet and I put those pictures and I was like, Benedict Lightwood in Clockwork Princess. And it immediately started to get like so many people retweeting it. And then Cassandra Clare retweeted it. And it just kept moving and grooving. I've never experienced that. Twitter has never been a viral place for me ever. So it was so cool to finally like feel that glory. Like, oh, a tweet I had was good enough for people to retweet. And of course it was a niche Shadowhunters joke tweet from Clockwork Princess. And I know it didn't go that viral because it's so niche, but like 5,927 likes and 1,067 retweets. That's pretty good for Christine on Twitter.
You know what I think is so weird is, I mean, that's amazing. I've never had a viral tweet either, ever. Sorry for the leaf blower for anyone who's listening. Very sorry. We got to keep going though.
Yeah.
I think the funniest place that I've gone viral is on Henry Cavill's Instagram posts. There's like 12,000 people who liked my comment, so it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. And like there were just so many people in different languages retweeting it that I was like, how are they finding this? And it's because they must follow Cassie, because I didn't see that Cassie had retweeted it like 12 hours later. And then I did see, and I was like, oh, all right. All right, Natasha, give us a moment of 2022.
Okay, I'm going to pick a smaller one, but I think moderating my first Comic-Con panel was such a special moment because I did the romance books one, and then you and I did a whole panel together, and that's where we announced our podcast.
Yes.
That was so special because, I mean, I've been going to
Comic-Con San Diego.
Yes. I've been going to Comic-Con San Diego since I was 15, and I've never been involved in anything like that before, and it was just very special. And now we have little placards. Well, you've had that before, but I have my first placard with my name on it, and it's sitting on my bookshelf.
Yeah. So cute. I had mine on my bookshelf too. I think I lost it in the move, but it was there for a very long time. um, yeah, that was I love that romance panel. It was very fun.
It was fun.
And then our panel was fun too, but I know I was super anxious on it, so I just kind of blocked it out of my mind. All right. Another one of my moments this year was Midnights related. I mean, first there was the night that Midnights was announced, and I was having such a terrible day writing wise because I was on deadline. And then she made that announcement, and it completely turned my everything around. And then after Midnights came out, this is the actual moment I have on the list. I think it was 2 weeks after Midnights. This happens after every album. I have a phone call with my BFF Katie from college, and we just dissect everything and go through our thoughts on every single song and all the lyrics. And I can't do my Midnights review without having like discussed all my thoughts with Katie, because she'll always like bring up another POV or another side of what I'm saying that I kind of missed because I'm coming at it from, like my own brain. And I love that, because then I get to have a whole new pontification session on what she had said, and it was great. So I walked around for 2 hours outside in the dark with Bellamy while we talked.
Oh my gosh.
It was a grand old time.
I love that.
Right.
I feel like I just sat there and like listened on my AirPods. I'm just gonna listen to everything.
Oh, Midnights.
Yeah. I never have like
I'm
a
excited
ritual.
to do my review. Yeah, I mean, my ritual was like listen by myself in the corner. But then for Reputation, when that came out, I was with Kat and Jesse at Y'all Fest in South Carolina, and listening to it together was actually so fun, and now is like a core memory that goes with Reputation for me. And listening to Folklore on my bed by myself, but at the same time as like my cousins Holly and Caroline, is another core memory for me, because we were texting through the songs. So that was so nice. Yeah. And now Midnights.
Lovely. Okay, one of my memories from this year was my best friend Heather's bridal shower. So I was Heather's maid of honor this year, and I did the whole bridal shower myself, and I did have some help here and there. I had hired someone to do our table settings, but Alex was such a big help for me at the bridal shower. I also had it at my aunt and uncle's house, so they also helped me as well, so it was a big like family affair. Heather wanted like a moon and stars theme, and I went overboard, and as I do. And I found this prom backdrop that was a big gold like crescent moon, because she like specifically wanted this like other backdrop that one of her friends had used in a music video, but it was like way too expensive. I'm like, okay, this thing is only like $150. It's massive. I'm gonna have to put it together, but that's okay. Like I'll do it, because I want it to look so cool. I want to put like balloons all around it. So I had hired like a balloon girl to like do a whole balloon bouquet around it. But the day before the shower, Alex and I'm like, okay, we have to do this, this, and this, and this. And one of those things was doing the gold crescent moon, and this thing was a beast to put together. It was
enormous.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it's bigger than a human being. So it
was 10 feet tall. It was 10 feet tall.
We'll post a picture on the Patreon. Yeah.
Yes. It was 10 feet tall.
With it.
And they gave us a glue gun, and then you had to use a glue gun and tape. And this is just me and Alex doing it.
A glue gun?
A hot glue gun. Yes, that whole thing was put together with hot glue. It took Alex and I,
like arts and crafts from the 90s?
Yes, it took Alex and I 5 hours to assemble it. So everything else I had to do that evening did not happen. And my aunt came outside. She goes, "Ooh, you guys are taking a long time doing this. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Like, Alex and I had already had like 3 fights during the whole thing. We'd already burned ourselves 5 million times. Oh my gosh. And then afterwards, like at the shower, like after everyone had left and we were breaking down, we're like, everyone's like, what are you gonna do with this? I'm like, throw it away. I have nowhere to put it. And so we just like broke it down and then threw it out. And I had so many people asking me, they're like, oh my gosh, can I buy the moon from you? Can I get the moon from you? I'm like, well, it's gone now. Go buy it yourself and assemble it. I bid you adieu.
Yeah, you'd have to like have it set up for them to buy it. Just pick it up from the party the day that you're done.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, it was
shower,
beautiful. Though. It was beautiful. Aesthetic.
Yes.
All right. One of my big things this year, one of my best friends got married. My best friend from growing up, her name's Christina, and she had a bachelorette party in February. And originally, my book 3 deadline was March 1st. So when they were planning this party, I was unfortunately not going to be able to go. So she didn't think I was coming, and I didn't think I was coming. And then come January, I wasn't going to be able to finish my book, so I had to push the deadline. And so I started to think, I can come. So I started talking to her maid of honor and planned it all out, and I got there with her not knowing that I was going to be there. So it was in Scottsdale, Arizona. So it wasn't too far away from me. It was further away from them in New Jersey. And it was just like the most stressful experience surprising someone. I've never surprised someone in this way before. And I had no idea how anxious I was going to be I could not sleep the night before. The whole way there, I was like, I hope I surprise her. I hope I surprise her. And I didn't think to film it, which is like, I know people are like, who cares? You were there in the moment. But if you don't film the moment fades away. That is the thing with pictures too, with like, oh, be in the moment. Like if you don't take a picture, you're going to remember that moment for like a month and then it's going to fade away. But if you have the picture, that moment will come back to you from the fucking picture. So her sister is like texting me like, we're up in the hotel, we're in this room, and I'm like, okay, I'm coming. I don't think to be like, can you film it? And she doesn't think it either. But like I open the door and Christina thinks it's like her other friend who's coming and meeting them up there. And when she sees me, she was like so surprised and started to cry, and I started to cry, and it was just like such a beautiful moment. And I'm so happy I did it. I don't know if I can handle surprising another human because I couldn't sleep for like 2 days leading up to it. But like, I'm so sad that I didn't film it so that I'll have it forever, Mm-hmm. But Aww. It was like one of those TikToks when it's like, still falling for you, except for real. It wasn't like that fake, like, I'm cheating on you coming in joke that they have on TikTok.
Did she like scream in your face?
She was like, wait, what are you doing here? I was like, I came, and she was like, what about your book? And I was like, the deadline was pushed. So It was really nice. Yeah, it was nice.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it was really nice because a lot of people coming were like kind of newer friends. And Jenna, our other best friend from New Jersey, hadn't arrived yet. She was coming a day late because of work. So it was really nice. All right.
Okay. This one's a bigger one, but my nephew Bodhi took his first steps this year, and he just turned 2 in October, and he took his first steps in February, and it was fun because so Bodhi is my nephew because it's my cousin's kid. And my cousins, they're 2 sisters, Miley and Sailor. We're very close with Alex and I, my twin brother. And when Sailor was pregnant, she's like, I want my son to call you guys aunt and uncle. So he is my nephew. And Miley, her older sister, they lived together up in Idaho, was over at my house staying for the weekend, and so was their dad, so Bodhi's grandpa. We were all together at Disneyland, and Sailor FaceTimes us, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, Bodhi took his first steps!" And then he does it again on FaceTime while like we're all in Fantasyland, and it was just so like magical and heartwarming just to see our little dude like walk, and he was just so unsure. Yeah. And literally then like 2 weeks actually a week later we flew up to see them for Valentine's Day, because that's the anniversary of my mom's death, and we got to just all spend so much good quality time together and got to see him walk in real life, and he was doing his little waddle walk, and it was just so cute, and I'm so glad like I have that little memory of us.
Yeah.
I know.
One of my not so great, but like definitely made my year, it just kicked off the start of the year, was my dog, who we've talked about. I don't know if I've talked about him on the main show, but he's 2 years old. He has separation anxiety. He was a COVID doggy, and I just don't leave the house enough because of my job, so he has never gotten over it. He has panic attacks when he's here by himself. So we moved to a new area though, and he has so many friends, and I have 2 neighbors that I'm pretty close with, and Bellamy's best friends with that dog. So we were going to go do yoga in her backyard, and we were going to leave Bellamy up in her second floor apartment with her dog because they're besties and they like just play constantly. But she has this balcony, and it has fake grass on it so that they can go out there and pee. And she usually just leaves the door open. And the balcony is like high. It's probably at least 4 foot, 4.5 feet.
Yeah.
You would never think that someone can jump over this balcony. And she's got stuff all along the edges, so there isn't room for the dogs to like go through the bars. Like you would never think this anyway. The bars are very close together.
And this is like a second story, right?
This is a second story.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in the backyard. You can't see us, but you could probably hear us because it's a building and it's right around the corner. And it's not a huge building. Anyway, all right. So we leave them up there for like an hour, and they're playing when we leave. We come back up. Bellamy is not there. And we're looking around the apartment, and it is like so fucking scary because he's just not here. And Coco, the other dog, is here, and we're running around, and outside over the balcony, like in a clump in the bushes, was Bellamy. And it was like, it wasn't even directly under the balcony. It was like 20 feet away, behind a bush in a little clump. And I didn't even see him out there because I was just like, I kept looking down because I was like scared to death of looking down because what am I going to see? Mm-hmm. Like if he jumped off the balcony, and how could he have jumped off the balcony? But there was a little spot where she had moved a basket of toys that was blocking like some of the bars, and he must have gone through the bars, and he must have gone through the bar.
He's like, "You're talking about me right now, Mom. I don't like this story. Please don't let me relive this."
I know, me reliving it is so stressful. Yeah, so he must have jumped through the bars and then like walked a little bit and collapsed, and he off a second story building. Like he is so blessed that. So I run down there like so in shock that I can't really cry because I just am so nervous that he is like mortally wounded because he just jumped from a second story window. He is a 10-pound dog. What? And he was in that clump and he was so in shock. So I just like picked him up, and my neighbor drove us to the animal hospital, and by the grace of God, he's okay. Nothing was wrong. He was just like severely traumatized. Yeah. And it was so sad because he was so sore the next day, and he tried to get up and just started screaming because all of his muscles must have been really, really sore.
Yeah,
but
he must have like
nothing.
just clamped everything.
Yeah,
and
just
then,
like
yeah,
and yeah, fell on him and like didn't hurt himself, like break anything, but his muscles were really probably bruised and everything. It was so sad. And then after that, he was afraid to go down the steps and stuff for a while, so I had to like train him to do those things without being afraid. It was like, and then I spent so much money on anti-anxiety lessons, and then they have not worked. So.
I just this like when you texted me, because usually I like Christine. I'm like her closest, basically family in California, and you texted me, and I was like, he's like, Bellamy just jumped off a balcony, and I was like, what? Like, and like, like you couldn't even get out fast enough of what was going on, because my mind was just like, is he okay? What's happening? Does he have, I don't know. Like, it was terrifying. Yeah. And I think you were just like on your way to the hospital at that point.
Yeah. I was so scared. But like, he wasn't crying, but he doesn't like, I've already experienced this. He jumped off a groomer's table and like fractured his knee when he was 6 months old and had to get surgery, and he just didn't make a noise. Like, he was completely silent. So the groomer was like, I think he's fine. He's not crying, but he wouldn't put any pressure on his back leg. So it's like, he's not fine. You shouldn't have looked away from a small puppy who could get off the table.
Yeah. Not my dog. My dog screamed bloody murder. All right.
All right.
What's the next memory? Okay. I'm trying to figure out which one I wanted. Okay, so for my birthday this year, my birthdays are always a very intense situation where I want a lot of celebration to happen around my birthday. You know why?
Natasha's one of those people who loves her birthday.
I do. I love my birthday. You know why? Because I've had to share it my entire life.
That makes sense. You're a twin.
Yes. And also my birthday's in the beginning of March, where nothing happens, and it's like a time to do something. So I had already been like very stretched thin this year with being a maid of honor, and like just so many babies, so many showers, so many like celebrating other people. I'm just like, I just want to just leave for myself. And so in the midst of planning Heather's shower, I was like, I think I'm just going to plan like a beach like picnic. And I was telling my friend Kayla as I was getting my hair done. She's also my hairstylist. And a week later, after I told her, I get like a little invite, and it says Natasha's birthday, surprise, surprise, surprise. And it like had details of time and everything. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, because I'm so used to doing everything myself and figuring out everything out. And Kayla had like went ahead and planned a whole surprise beach picnic. She reached out to like all of my friends, invited them. I already kind of basically knew what was going down. I just was so, I felt so loved that she would do that for me, and would take the time out of her busy schedule, because she did it like on a day she had work too, and got like this, she set up this whole spread, and Christine came down, really she picked me up, and Heather brought down my favorite food, which is barbecue, and Kayla and Matt and Danielle set out all of like the little cushions and got me a charcuterie board, which that charcuterie board prompted me to also become a charcuterie board queen this year.
It was the best charcuterie board I've ever had, and then Natasha made me one for my birthday that was just as delicious.
It was so good. But that made me feel so special and so loved, and it was also very aesthetic, and I was in a long selfie dress as well.
It was very lovely. It looked like a picnic out of one of those movies, like in the 1800s, where they have like fancy picnics on the beach. It looked like
the Little Women beach scene. It reminded me of that.
Yes, like the happy beach scene, not the sad one.
Mm-hmm.
It was really nice. Just everyone. It was the first time I got to know a lot of your new friends, and they were so nice. And I felt like it was a small enough group that I could get to know them and talk. Because sometimes, a lot of times, when I meet your friends, it's like at big events, and I like just kind of stay in the corner. But it was nice to kind of get to know them, and they were so nice, and it was really fun. Yeah,
I have a lot of friends. And so a lot of friends in like different walks of life, but a lot of like content creator friends. So
well, Natasha's just very extroverted in terms of making new friends. I feel like she makes new friends really quickly, and so I missed a bunch of new friendships through 2020 and 2021 where I was like very busy and everything, and we weren't really doing things because of COVID, and so it was nice to catch up.
Had no job. Yeah.
It's
been fun this year.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. One of these memories. So Natasha and I went to the UK this year. It was so much fun. I love London. And there was this one. So while we were there, this is something that kept coming up. London doesn't have salads. Everything is beef. They don't have chicken dishes. Like, maybe you'll find the occasional one, but you're not going to find a chicken dish like a staple on every menu like you'll find in America. And you're not going to find a Caesar salad on every fucking menu like you are in America. It's like, where are the salads? And then you order a salad and it's just like cheese with 3 leaves around it. So like, this is not a salad. Excuse me. What is this? So back when I lived in London, I was a youth. I was 20. So I was just eating like burgers and fucking pasta every day. And I also was just getting it from the grocery store. I wasn't like going out to eat all the time because I was a poor college student studying abroad. So it was such a weird experience going to every restaurant and being like, fucking A, I can't have another burger. I'm going to die. Like, I've had 4 burgers in the first 2 days. Like, what's happening? So there was this one day where we did a cruise down the Thames on a riverboat, and it was really cool, but it started to rain. And we got off at a stop that we hadn't planned to get off at, and it was just like this glorious time in it was Tower Bridge, yeah. And it was a really glorious rain where I was like dancing around for a TikTok that we're doing. And it was like a euphoric, let's get off and like walk around in the rain sort of a thing and find food. And we found a really great restaurant that Natasha had like seen last time she was there. And they had the most delicious Caesar salad.
So good.
And it was just such a nice night after like going 3 days being like, I can't eat anything. I'm just like eating beef every second of my life. Like, I'm telling you, we went to the next city and there were no restaurants that had anything but beef in this little town. What is it? Penzance.
Bath? Oh, well, we went to Bath first.
And then Penzance. We went to Bath first. I got a burger in Bath. I got another burger in Bath. And then
I had shepherd's pie in Bath.
Yeah. In Penzance, they had a pulled pork burger. So I was like, okay, I'll get pulled pork. I'm going to get something different. and they come with the pulled pork, and it is a beef burger with pork on top of it. It was like a teenage boy meal. I was like, I took the beef burger off and just had the pulled pork on the bun. And like, there's no vegetable. Like, it's just like I'm just like, how do they live here without any greens? And somebody messaged me and was like, well, salad's a summer dish. And I was like, what do you mean a summer dish?
It was
all winter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember I ordered a Waldorf salad, and technically, it's supposed to be like walnuts and like apples and stuff like within a salad. It was literally just like this goop with 5 leaves around it.
Yes. It was just the walnuts and apples in like a really thin chopped mix. Yeah, that one place that has a Caesar salad. My mom's thinking of going to London next year, and I was like, I gotta get that restaurant for you so you can go to the delicious place because
Well,
food is very iffy in the UK. Everything else is fantastic. Food, not so much.
also that place has those cool little like see-through globes.
Outside,
Yeah,
yeah,
outside that she should book.
considered.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember what the place is called. Do you? I was like,
I'll look. I know exactly where it is. I'll look it up. But
Yeah.
also in Penzance, I think I had the worst food there. But I had fish and chips like 5 times because it's like I can't eat beef either. At least I could eat fish. I picked another fish dish at that restaurant where she got the pulled pork beef burger thing, and it was like 2 types of fish. And I love fish. Okay, I'm a person who can eat fish every single day of her life. This fish tasted like salt water. It tasted like ocean. Like when you go under a wave and you open your mouth and you can't like breathe, that's what it tasted like.
that's what all. I don't eat fish, so like that's another thing. There's a lot of fish in the UK. I can't eat fish, and I can't eat fried foods. I have so many restrictions, and the UK does not have healthy foods to like choose from. like, um, so yeah, I think I had my best thing on St. Michael's Mount St. Michael. Is it St. Michael's Mount? That's
St.
why I went to
Michael's Mount.
Penzance. There's this castle on an island, and you can walk there on a pathway during low tide, but during high tide, the pathway is
Wait,
gone.
that's my story.
And-
Hold on.
Oh, I was just talking about the food there, though. So on this little island, they had like ham and brie croissants, and I was like, oh my god, finally, ham, something that's not a beef burger. So that was great.
I had a Cornish
Do you wanna tell-
pasty.
Oh yeah, that was like a highlight of the food experience, which is kind of sad. Okay, tell us your story about St. Michael's Mount.
Okay.
It was also a moment for me.
It's our story.
Yeah.
So we like the big thing. We wanted to go to Cornwall, and we didn't know where. We didn't know that Cornwall was an entire just section of the UK that was like the butt of, not the butt, like the tip of the shoe, I guess. I love Poldark.
It's not Italy.
I know, but you know it kind of like goes out
The
anyways.
island. Yeah.
Yes, I love Poldark. I was like, I've always wanted to go to Cornwall and experience it. And then I remember seeing this castle on an island, and I was like looking up Cornwall, and I was like, oh my gosh, Christine, we have to go to this castle on an island. And like she was saying, there's a pathway at low tide that where you can walk across, or you just get boated there across the way. And so
Can I just set the town though? Penzance is a tiny little town of nothing. So like there's nothing there. And we're walking around trying to find food, and it was very difficult. But we stayed at a bed and breakfast that had really delicious food because
they had really good breakfast.
A chef. The breakfast was so good. It's owned by a couple, and the man is a chef, and it was great. But it's not like a place you go to do other things. Like the thing there is St. Michael's Mount. All right, go ahead.
It's also the most west place in the UK.
Oh yeah,
it's literally the last stop.
It's the furthest point. Yeah, and everyone who saw us, they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And we're like, "We're going down to Penzance." And like, "Oh my gosh, that's so far." And we're like, "Well, it's a 5.5 hour train. It's not that far." They're like, "It's the
you're not even out of California with that time."
I know. We're like very used to going on very long trips for things in the car, so it was nothing. I loved that train ride. I got so much stuff done.
Yeah, same. It was great, except for those kids, the hoodlums.
Oh yeah.
Who were talking about drugs the entire time.
There were kids sitting right in front of us talking. They must have been like 20, and they were talking a big game about being drug
users.
People.
Yeah.
It was not an attractive conversation at all.
No. About how like friends went to jail. I was very concerned.
But they were like very happy about it. They weren't telling it in a harrowing tone, so it was very off-putting.
Yeah. So anyways, St. Michael's Mount, I've been hearing from other people. They're like, oh, what are you doing here? We're like, oh, we're going to St. Michael's Mount. They're like, ugh, that trek up there it's intense.
Every time I said that, I was like, shut up. Because Natasha's getting nervous about this trek. And I'm like, it's not going to be that bad. These British people keep overhyping everything with the train is so long. And like, it's
The
so
trek
hard.
is
to get
so
off
hard.
the mount. I know. I'm like wearing my boots that I wear all the time. And they were like, and we were wearing dresses. And they stopped us on the way out. And they're like, are you really going to wear that? Are you going to be okay? Like, do you walk a lot? I'm like, bitch, I'm gonna be fine.
I know. I remember asking someone, I'm like, are these shoes okay? Do you think so? Because I was so anxious about it because I mean, I have stamina, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to have to take a lot of breaks. Anyways, so I remember telling Christine, I'm like, I don't know if I can walk up. I don't know if I could walk up. I don't know if I can do it. I really only care about the pictures from far away. I was in my head about it.
Yeah.
So we get there.
Like, Natasha, it's going to be okay. We're going to take breaks. You're going to be fine. Like, they were acting like it was a trek up a mountain where we had to, like, hammer things into the wall. Like, that is the impression they were giving us. Like, it was a cobblestone path, okay?
It was the trek up there. Let's just get out of the way. It wasn't bad. Okay. I had to take multiple breaks because I didn't want to sweat and ruin my makeup. And so Christine had my fan in her pocket. She goes, here for easy access.
It was very doable though. Like, it was not that bad. There were old women trekking on it with us. Old
German women. I think, honestly, the worst part about being up there in those dresses was everyone staring at us.
Looking at us.
Yes.
But, like, we looked fucking cute, so.
Yeah. I'm sorry you're not going to get cute pictures up there. But anyways, we did the trek. It wasn't bad at all. It was nice, and it was cool, and
it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. And this is the castle where they filmed Dragonstone in House of the Dragon. So this is like the home of Rhaena, I think is her name. So that was very cool to be there. Literally like the same weekend the episode aired where we saw Dragonstone. But we did the whole castle. Like every time we turned a corner, there was something like so magical. And we were like, let's take pictures here. Let's take pictures here. And so afterwards...
Well, but even afterwards, though, like, there was no one there. So it felt like having a actual medieval castle to ourselves. It was so magical and so mind-boggling that we were just, like, able to go all around these terraces, and you look over the terrace and the view is stunning. There's all this wind, so you feel like you're in a movie. Like, it was so cool, and we got such cool pictures. It was so much fun doing that photo shoot. Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it the whole time. We turn a corner and it looked magical as fuck. I was like, this is out of a fucking medieval film. Like, I don't understand. Like, are we in Hamlet right now and no one's here? Like, we can just wander? Like, it was so cool.
Well, and then we had to wait for the
what do they call it?
The tide to go down for the towway, the bridgeway or something like that.
They call the path the bridgeway.
And that was so fun just to see the water level receding and that path opening up. And once we were walking across it, it was just so cool to look back and see how glorious this castle is on an island. And it got so low that Christine and I were able just to walk on the sand, and we did a bunch of TikToks. And that was so fun and so random, I guess. But
it was just like all magical. Yeah. Because it was an ocean just hours before that we had to ride across on a boat. And then the tide went out and this path appeared, and then it went out even more so that like the sand all around the path was just open land so that we could go take pictures off the path and get the castle in the background, because on the path we were trying to get these cute pictures, but there were so many people going back and forth now. People just come with their dogs to walk across the path and like go on a walk up the mount. Like,
Yep.
it was so cool to see, but also we were like, okay, there's so many people. It's very hard to edit them out of these pictures.
Yes. We ended up going to dinner and having like the entire view of the castle, and it was
There's
cloudy
a restaurant
that day.
right on the beach. Yeah.
And the sun was setting and the clouds were peeking through, and we're all just like, wow, this is amazing. We need to go take pictures. And as soon as our dinner finished, we started like frantically running down to be like, we gotta go before the sun gets down. We gotta go.
Because wait, you gotta set it a little bit more. So like it was so cloudy all day. There was no like big sunburst, and then it was like heaven raining down. Like when the clouds part enough for just beams of light to come through. It wasn't like it was magic, and it was golden hour. So yeah, we were talking to a couple next to us the whole time at dinner, and then as soon as we got the check, we're like, sorry, we gotta go run outside and take pictures. The sun is setting. Golden hour is here.
We got our pictures, and the waiter, I had forgot my bag from the gift shop, and he literally ran down to be like, you forgot your bag.
Okay,
He was also flirting with us the whole time.
This waiter was flirting with us through dinner, and we left our shit up there because we were running downstairs to take pictures, and he literally comes running out the restaurant across the beach to where we are with our stuff. I was so embarrassed. I felt so bad for him because he was like sprinting out to us with our shit. Like, oh God. And it was in this moment that I get my email being like the edits about my book.
She starts crying.
I started crying because I had just handed it in 2 weeks ago, and I had been in a troll state of just working on this book for 3 months, and I thought that I was going to like not be able to think about it for a full month, and it came back while we were on vacation taking these magical pictures.
I just turn around and she's just like sobbing, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong, honey? What's going on?
Oh gosh, but it was like, I can't stress how magical the whole experience was. Mm-hmm. It was the coolest day, and so worth the 5.5 hour train ride, and I just will treasure the memory of it all forever. It was beautiful.
Yes. So many pictures too from that day. All right,
oh
Christine.
My gosh, so many gorgeous pictures. All right. Okay, wow. Okay, well, since we're talking about the trip, then after this, we went to Oxford, and we stayed in this hotel that used to be a prison called the Malmaison or something.
Malmaison.
Yeah, and every room used to be a cell, or used to be 2 cells, or however many cells it took to make the room. So all the doors are like cell doors still. It's very cool. But like one of my favorite just like core memories from the year was just like after our day there, I was brushing my teeth and I started laughing hysterically about this random story my brother had told me years ago. And Natasha comes in, she's like, why are you laughing? And I told her like the littlest snippet of a story. I was like, Paul had to get my dad a water.
And because I know her family, I was like,
and I was like, and then the water spilled. And we just started dying laughing for like 5 straight minutes. And then I was like, I don't remember the story. We gotta get it from Paul. And then we called Paul and had him on speakerphone to tell the story. And it's one of these stories.
It's so dumb. We also were like both in bed, like, tell us the story.
And Paul told the story, and it was so fucking funny, even after I had told it like half-assed to Natasha. And Paul, after the story, he's like, wait, I told it backwards. So he hadn't told it right either. And I'm like hesitant to tell the story because if you don't have a father with anger issues, like maybe it's not funny. But I have that. And yeah, it was just like one of those moments when you're with your best friend and you're just like can't stop laughing, and it was just you have all of the serotonin. And then I remember afterward Natasha was like, let's call Alex and make him tell us a story too. And we call up Natasha's brother Alex, and Natasha's like, tell us a funny story.
He did not have anything to tell us.
I know. She's like, what story?
I'm like, you're good at telling stories just like Paul. Do it.
And it's just like when you go up to a comedian and you're like, be funny. Play, monkey, play. Like, you can't do that. Oh my God. So it was a fun time.
That's a good memory.
Yeah. All right, your turn. We're getting down to it. It looks like I have 7 left, but they're not like all long.
Okay, so Heather had her bachelorette this year as well, and it was the year of Heather wedding.
So Heather is her same. Heather is who she was talking about, the
bridal shower.
Oh my God, bridal shower.
Yes.
And Natasha was the maid of honor.
Yes. So I planned the bachelorette. We went to Vegas, and the bachelorette was a food tour of Vegas. Like, we literally did nothing else but just like stayed in the room and ate food and like kind of explored the city a bit. It was great. We had so much fun, and we did like really cool like experiences as well. We did like a whole limo tour, blah blah blah. It was so fun. I loved that weekend. So we wanted to do these pictures, like these content pictures in front of the Bellagio with the Paris Hotel behind us. And I had brought, Heather wanted, did she want to, no, I brought balloons and helium to blow up for Heather for her, like, her picture. And when we first get to the hotel, they're like, oh, you can't have these in the room. Like, you have to have them at the bell desk, and then you can blow it up there. I'm like, oh, that's annoying. Okay. So the day we want to do the pictures, our friend Becca, who was there along, there was only 3 of us on the Bachelorette. She comes down with me and she's like, okay, well, let's go get it. They just hand us the helium and the balloons. And I'm like, they're like, oh, here you go. I'm like, I could have had these the whole time. I was going to decorate the entire room. Like, this is so frustrating. What the heck? So I bought like 2 like big engagement type of bouquet type of things. I blow up one of these Mylar engagement ring massive balloons, and I don't understand what happens, but it doesn't work, and the balloon starts just like falling down on the floor, even though the whole thing was blown up. I'm like, is this just like too heavy? I'm so confused. And so then I blow up the second balloon, and I blow it up. Yeah, I blow it up, like extra, like I blow it up a little bit more than the last one, because I'm like, oh, maybe there wasn't enough helium in it to make it float. And so it floated. So great, perfect, wonderful, cool. Got my camera. Everyone's in their outfits. Let's get out the door. And Heather has the balloon, and we are we're leaving the door, and Heather, for some reason, like, ricochets against the door frame with the balloon in front of her, and then pops the balloon before we leave the hotel. And I was like, Heather, she goes, oh God, I told you I can't be trusted with balloons. I'm like, Heather. So then I open up the other balloon that was now just like sadly floating across the floor. How many balloons did you have? I only have the 2.
So you mean the fail balloon? The balloon that was a failure.
The fail balloon, yes. And I fill that guy up with more helium, and it does float. So I'm like, all right, I will hold the camera. I will hold the balloon. No one gets to touch the balloon. I will transport it safely to the destination. I have too many friends who are klutzes, including you, Christine. And you would pop the balloon.
I wouldn't have a balloon if we just don't use it for me.
That's true. So, we get to the destination, and Heather's taking all of her photos. She looks so beautiful in her white dress and with the background. We're literally like we had just started taking photos, and Becca, my camera was like, I was trying to adjust the settings, and I got a few photos in, and Becca was like filming her, and then all of a sudden, like Heather goes like, flew, and like tries to like pull the balloon down, and then she takes the string, she pulls the string off of the balloon, and then it just starts floating away. And I'm like, this damn fucking balloon. Just okay. All right, let's keep moving. And then we're taking more. What?
Lost it.
Oh yeah, we lost the balloon.
So
we also got it.
The balloon.
We got it on
so
camera
there were no
too.
Balloons.
So there were no.
I know. I remember seeing the video.
And then as I was taking pictures, my entire dress like erupts in the back. Like the whole zipper just breaks open as I'm in front of the Bellagio, and we have to like,
oh no, yeah, I remember this.
Like try to like unzip it, zip it, and then I ended up just like tying it with a hair tie in the back, and it looked like I had a bustle, and it was fine. But
oh yeah, it worked out because you're a fashion wizard. You're like Jennifer Lopez in The Wedding Planner, like, let me pull this and make this, and I'll make this into this, like in the opening scene, remember?
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing I have down here was the day. So Jack Sparrow came back into the zeitgeist this year because of the J-Deb trials, I think, and running like Jack Sparrow was a trend on the TikToks. And so we ended up doing a Jack Sparrow photo shoot with Liza Roberts. That's her name, right?
Yes, we did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just saying her name correctly, right? Because I like read it's her handle all the time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's just how I say it in my head. Okay. So yeah, we end up doing a Jack Sparrow photo shoot with Liza Roberts, and I got all dressed up as like a female version of Jack Sparrow, and Natasha was dressed as Elizabeth Swann in her velvet outfit from the movie, and I love Jack Sparrow. I don't know if I've established that fact. I was very huge fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I still love them, and I had a huge crush on Jack Sparrow, so it was so cool to like pretend to be him, and we got really cool pictures. But I really loved reenacting scenes on the beach. Yes. From the movie. So I did the Jack Sparrow run, and I did it so many times on that beach, like just sprinting back and forth and rolling around I don't know what, there weren't many people to watch, so that was fun. No one thought I was just like an insane person rolling around on the beach. But we did it a couple times in the beginning, but the sun wasn't good, so then I had to do it all over again. But the final product was a really cute TikTok that I love of me doing the Jack Sparrow run, and then Natasha does it in her Elizabeth Swann dress after, and it's my favorite. I'm so glad we did that. I was so sore the next day, not just on my legs, everywhere, because I was like flopping around like a fish dying in the sand.
You had your stamina though, like she just kept going. After one run I was like, I'm done.
It was worth it. Always worth it for the gram.
That was a very fun weekend too, because we did like 3 things that we did
events.
More than that. Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, we did 4. We had Bridgerton, we had Doctor Strange, we had a comedy show, and then we went to the fire starter event on Monday or something. We did lots of stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a lot.
Then we got sick.
Yes, we both got sick.
We both got sick together on the same day.
All right. So this year, one of my new friends is my good friend Taya, and her boyfriend Liam. Taya is like the quintessential like Gen Z TikTok girl. She is also just like a breath of fresh air and just sunshine. I love her to death. And she only lives 15 minutes from my house. So it's been super fun just having like a little sister, and going to Disneyland and having lots of memories with her and Liam together. And we did a big Game of Thrones photo shoot this year for Halloween. And Alex was involved. He played Jon Snow, and I was Sansa, the sister, and Taya was Daenerys, and our friend Taylor was Marjorie. And afterwards, we had been talking about, because Taya and Liam had been over at my house a bunch, but we had been talking about showing them either Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings, and Alex and I had convinced them to watch Lord of the Rings with us. So that night after the photo shoot, we got California Pizza Kitchen. We watched the first one, Fellowship, with them, and like and watching it with Alex and myself, who we know all the lore, and we also just make everything more exciting. Both of them fell in love with the whole series, and then she literally couldn't wait to watch the second one. She's like, okay, we're gonna watch the extended version. And so then like 2 weeks later, they both came over and they watched Two Towers together. And then we had our little Christmas celebration at the beginning of this month, and she had got me my Evenstar necklace. They love Lord of the Rings so much now that all of our gifts were Lord of the Rings themed. Yeah, and it was just we have a lot of memories together of like doing a lot of events and things and really exciting things, but that's probably my favorite, is just everyone hanging out and watching the films together this year and just sharing our love with, the younger generation. They're only like 5 years younger than us, but
it's always those smaller moments that really make the impacts, the quieter ones. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have anxiety sweats right now. Like, what gave me this? I can smell my sweat. I'm like, ew, why am I anxiety sweating?
Oh no.
So if you saw me just smell my armpits on the camera, that's why. And I'm sorry. As you were telling that story. All right. One of my most fun memories from this year was our friend Tessa's wedding. It was a cosplay wedding, or Halloween wedding, whatever you want to call it. Everyone had to come in costume, and I was Harley Quinn from the new Suicide Squad in that red dress. Natasha was Padme from the Star Wars prequels. It was so fun just like getting dressed up, but Tessa's wedding was like the coolest nerd wedding I've ever been to in my life. And I'm always like planning my own nerd wedding in my head, and to see someone do one in real life was the coolest thing ever. Yes. I cried so much during the ceremony. It was so beautiful. And then at the party, like Natasha and I got to dance to like the most fun music from it was like all the best songs to dance to from like our growing up years, and I just have such beautiful memories of like that dance floor, like weird dancing, just the two of us to like these songs off to the side. Like I like to carve out like a giant empty space so that like wild dancing can occur. Yeah. And so we had like our own giant space where we were just wild dancing, and it was so fun, and everyone was in costume. It was just really, really like a memorable wedding. I've been to so many weddings, and I can't say no ceremony has ever been as beautiful as Tessa's ceremony. Oh my gosh.
The weddings I've been going to, the ceremonies have been very short, which I don't mind at all. But Tessa's was like just incredible. Ugh, like them walking down the aisle and they all had wands and the guys had lightsabers. Oh, it was so good. And then she also had, I don't want to talk about it because it's personal, but
yeah, it's personal.
But I mean, I'm Tessa's manager, so I was like her social media guru that day, and I was there for like the entire thing. So all the getting ready portions, getting her dress on, there for hair and makeup. So that whole day was super special.
Yeah, it was really, really great. All right, what do you have left?
With that in mind, I made my 3 dream cosplays this year, and I remembered like the beginning of this year, everyone had put in. I was like, oh, what cosplay do you want to see me do? And I was looking back at it, and I did almost half of them this year. So I made. I made Padme in the field. That's what I wore to Tessa's wedding. And all of these cosplays killed me, by the way. Like, I had mental breakdowns for every single one of them because I try to fit too much in too little of time. And so I did Padme first, and I've been wanting... I did Padme first, and I just couldn't believe I did it. And I have a picture of the 2 of us hanging in our bathroom in that, and I love looking at it. And then I did Megara from Hercules at D23, and that put me down a spiral. Like I was trying to finish it. Like I had too much on my plate that week, but I fully embodied Meg. Like I don't think I've ever been so much like a character. And then all of my videos for that cosplay went viral on TikTok, and they still have so much traction. I love being Meg. And I love that dress. I felt gorgeous and sexy at the same time. And my hair was fabulous.
It was so cool.
I had like 2 fake ponytails in there, plus like all of my hair, and it was great. And then I did Wonder Woman, and Wonder Woman was my hardest build yet because it's not a lot of sewing. It's just mostly crafting with your hands. And that was the week we also launched our podcast. So it was a lot, but I'd always wanted to be Wonder Woman, like in Wonder Woman's armor, like as a plus size woman, and I did it, and I'm so proud of myself.
It was so cool. Like you were just telling me like melting plastic, and I was just like, what is happening in there? Is that safe? Do you have a blowtorch? Like, what's happening?
I was wearing a big mask, so.
All right. Well, I'm going to get this. My next one is like a less happy memory, but a core 2022 memory nonetheless. So, my best friend, who I surprised her at their bachelorette, her wedding turned out to be one where a lot of people got sick afterward. So, the week we were just talking about, Natasha and I, where we did the Pirates of the Caribbean and Bridgerton, and we went to go see Doctor Strange. After that, we both got sick, and we were sick for a whole week. It was like a 10-day cold that didn't go away. And then I finally was better like the day before I had to fly to New Jersey for this wedding. So I'm better by the time the wedding comes around. I'm like recovered. And the wedding happens, and 2 days later, I have my flight. And when you're asleep and like all of a sudden you can't breathe, like the sludge starts going down your throat because you're all of a sudden congested. Yeah, but it's like so thick, like the terrible sludge where like you can't do anything about it. So this is like my asleep state. I'm like, do my allergies activating? Like, was I outside? Like, because I was just sick and recovered. So I don't think I'm sick. I think that like I was outside and my allergies are happening. And so I start chugging water while I'm getting ready for my flight. Like, and this is one of those flights that's really early. So it's like 5 a.m. I'm half asleep. I'm like chugging water. And I'm like, I gotta clear my sinuses because I was outside and I'm allergic to something. And we get to the airport and the airport is completely backed up. And I went like 3 hours early, and it takes one of those full hours to get to the fucking door of the airport. And then I get in there, and it is the longest line I've ever seen in my life to get to security. And by the time we had pulled into the airport, I have to pee. I drank a lot of water because I wanted to be able to breathe.
Oh no, I forgot about this story.
And yeah. And the security line is the longest thing I've ever seen. And by the time I even get on the line, I've dropped my bag. I only have like an hour and 15 minutes before my flight's supposed to board. Like, it took forever. It was so crowded. So I'm like, I can't run and pee right now. I just have to get through security and then I can pee. So I am on this security line for like 45 minutes having to pee. Like, all I can think about is having to pee. And I get to like the part where there's like 2 more spin arounds till where they check your passport, like 2 more liney things. And I'm in pain. Like, I feel like I'm gonna die. I'm gonna piss my pants. And I don't know what to do. I'm like keeling over because I'm like having pains from having to pee. And I can't go back. It's an hour line behind me. I can't go forward. I can't get out of line because I'll lose my line. I'll miss my flight. So I asked one of those airport people if I can run and pee. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I have to pee so bad. And I'm like keeled over being like, I have to pee. Can I leave and go to the bathroom? She's like, if you leave, you have to go back to the back of the line. And I was like, okay, well, can I go to the front of the line? Because I think I'm going to piss myself. And she was like, you have to ask everyone in front of you if you can go to the line.
What a fucking bitch.
So that's my only choice right now. I am in so much pain. I feel like I'm gonna die. So I start being like, I'm so sorry. There's like 20 people in front of me. I feel like the biggest douche asshole weirdo being like, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna piss my pants. Can I cut you in line? And I kind of just keep repeating this and being like, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna pee myself. Can I cut myself? And I'm just repeating that and like pushing forward. Like, I'm gonna pee myself. I'm so sorry. Can I cut you? I get to the front of the line. They check my passport. I'm like, at this time, I feel like I'm gonna faint. This is how much I've worked myself up. I'm in pain. I feel like I'm gonna die. Little do I know, I'm also getting COVID. And so I feel like I'm gonna pass out. And they check my passport, and I'm like holding my passport and all my shit, like my phone, and they check it. I move back and I have to do the security line. Like, I have to put my stuff on the baskets to get through because I can't just run to the bathroom. They have to like pull out my computer and like do all these things. So I get to that point where I'm about to put my stuff and I collapse. I like onto the ground. Like, I'm gonna faint.
No,
and I have to
I
pee.
forgot.
I just told all these people that I'm gonna piss my pants, and then I get to the line front and I collapse. Okay? And like my whole bag is open. Everything spills across the floor. And the lady's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna faint. And she's like, well, you have to go through security. You can't go to the bathroom until you get through the security. So I'm collapsed on the floor.
No!
I'm dying. And nobody's helping me. She's just like, put your stuff on the belt. And I'm like, I don't know if anyone has had this experience where you're about to faint, but you get really sweaty and nauseous. Like, so I'm sweating. I can't think straight. But after like 30 seconds of like deep breathing, I like managed to start putting shit onto the belt. And so I put my shit onto the belt. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, all I'm doing is like millennial apologizing for my existence as I try to get through security. And like, I managed to get all my stuff and I start walking away and someone's like, excuse me, miss, I think you're forgetting this. On the floor behind me, my passport, my phone, my keys, my wallet, just on the floor. I'm about to leave them. So I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much. I like stuffed them all in my backpack. And I get through and I'm like coming back into my mind now. Like I've passed like the fainting, which is like, thank the heavens. And now I'm going to die of pee again. Like I'm going to piss myself. So I like get through security, I sprint to the bathroom and I just like peed my life away. And then like I can't breathe. And I'm like, why can't I breathe? Like, and I start coughing and like, I'm like, oh my God, you're not allowed to cough. We're in a COVID world. You're not allowed to cough. And like, I still haven't registered that I might be getting sick. I think that this is fucking allergies. Like my brain is completely baffled because I was just sick. So I'm like, this must be residual. Like what's happening? And I peed my life away, sprint to the plane. And as I'm sprinting, like, can't breathe. Like, I don't know what's happening. And I spend the entire plane ride trying not to cough, but all my lungs want to do is cough because I start to feel like I'm dying. I get home, take a test, I have fucking COVID. And it was the worst. I don't want to go into COVID. That was the worst. But like, wow, I just never, so I got TSA pre-check after that. I was like, I can never do this again. I never have to get in a situation where I have to pee so bad that I feel like I'm going to die. Like,
that was
on a security line. And you can't go back. You can't go forward. You can't go back. Oh my God.
That's
it was terrible.
So,
what a time. I will like never forget it.
Oh my
it was
gosh.
traumatizing. Like, what can people be thinking after I just pushed past 20 people and then I collapsed on the floor and so after saying I was going to piss myself and then like I didn't go to the bathroom. I was just there. Like, what's happening? Like this white dramatic bitch on the floor making me late. Oh.
Wow. Yeah. I now remember you telling me this story. You were also sick, so it wasn't as good as you telling it now. All right.
I literally, I was trying to get across this story via text message, and it wasn't coming the same way.
No. Okay. Okay, so I went to a lot of premieres this year, and they are some of the most exciting times, but and also a complete privilege, and I'm so happy when I ever get to go. My favorite premieres I went to this year was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, even though I did not love the film. I made a whole gown, and I was supposed to be press because that's how I got invited. And because I was with like a couple other content creators who have like a larger following than I do, and I had Heather with me, who is like the PR Heather's best friend, maid of honor girl. She's like the PR queen and like has worked premieres before because she used to work for Sony. She like got my name on a nameplate like as we were just like waiting for the carpet to open, and she goes, "We're walking the carpet," because I was just supposed to go in the back, and I was like, and she's like, "No, we're walking the carpet. You made this whole dress. We're doing this." And this dress was so much fun. I had a little bit more time, but it had like multiple layers of like this blue skirt. I had a whole like cape behind me. And I get onto the carpet, and like they have on all Disney premieres, they have a fan pit, and where they get a bunch of cosplayers to dress up as the characters. And I see my friend Lauren on the carpet, who I used to work with at Amaryllis, and she's in a Wanda cosplay, and she goes, Natasha, I'm like, Lauren, what are you doing here? I haven't seen you in like months. I took her to the Black Widow premiere because she did Marvel had hired her to do Marvel Becoming, and she made the whole white suit for Black Widow, but she wasn't invited to the premiere, so I'm like, of course you're coming with me. So that was so fun, and so it was really special to see her on the carpet and then experience that with Heather and in a dress. And I got professional photos taken in it, like on the carpet, and I was on the live stream, so it was like my first really big Marvel premiere, because the Black Widow one was like a fan experience, and this one was like the first one I got to experience. And then I did the Bridgerton premiere this year, and that was more of like a fan viewing because there weren't any talent there. But that was incredible because it was the preview to the Bridgerton experience. And we all got to dress up like in beautiful dresses and watch the whole first episode together at the Biltmore. And the experience was like open for 3 hours. And I met a bunch of creators that night that I had been wanting to meet for a long time. So that was probably one of my favorite events I did this year.
Cool. The Doctor Strange dress was so cool.
Yes.
All right. We're getting down to it. I got 2 left.
Me too.
And the first one here is my sister got engaged this year. And if you've known my sister in any capacity, she's been talking about her boyfriend proposing to her for years. She's always just like, when's it gonna happen? When am I getting engaged? Like, she's one of those. So it was very exciting when I got a phone call from my mom, and she was like, so Brian wants to know, that's her fiance, if we are available on July 9th. And I just started to cry. It's like, it's happening. She's going to be so happy. So I got a ticket, obviously, to be there for it. And the plan was for us to all have dinner with them afterward. But I obviously wanted to see it happen. So I didn't know what the exact plan was. I was thinking like maybe he's going to propose on the beach and we're all going to like spring out because like, you know, people do that sometimes. People like that, their family to be there sometimes. So I didn't know what it was going to happen, but I was like, I'm flying across the country. I would like to see this happen with my eyeballs. I want to just hide in a bush. So, Paul and I were like, can we film it? Because he hired a person to take pictures, but like didn't have anyone filming. And I know Olivia would want it filmed, you know? And Paul has this really nice camera that he's been using to shoot. He like made a film last year. And so a bunch of people that worked with him, they invested in this nice camera. And so he's like, yeah, let's film it. Let's go early. Let's like hide on the beach and film it. So Brian like makes it so that I can like track him. What is it called on Apple when you can like track your friends?
It's like Find My Friend.
Find My Friends. So we leave like 40 minutes ahead of them. Brian like drops a pin on the exact spot where he's deciding he's gonna propose. So Paul and I drive out there, and Paul's girlfriend Katie's with us too. And we get there, and there's like no place to park. It's like all private property. It's like one of those areas along the beach where like really wealthy people must own all the homes. And like there's the occasional parking lot, but it says it's like private property, but we parked in one of those. But we're like, where is she gonna park? Where are they gonna be? We start moving to where the pin is dropped, and it's like this staircase into the beach, because the beach is like up and over this hill of sand, and there's all these balconies. Like there's balconies like every 15 feet, like with the steps, and all of them say no trespassing, private property, including the one that he has dropped the pin on. It's like an overlook, but it says no trespassing, private property. And Paul and Katie and I are like, what do we do? Do we like go on that private property? And the one that Brian pinned had people on it. Like whoever owned the private property were up there just like sitting in outdoor, like, you know, furniture, watching the ocean and stuff. So the photographer arrives, and she's like this middle-aged woman, and so I didn't like know that she was the photographer. She's just like in tie-dye pants and stuff. So I was like talking to her, and she's like, oh, I'm the photographer, I'm here for Brian. And we're like, oh, so she goes up there first, so we let her be like the person who's going to tell them that people are supposed to be getting engaged here. So we walk past her onto the private property on the beach, and there's like some of that beach grass, you know, that like stringy green grass, and we all camp out in that grass. And Paul goes across to get a different angle in grass like 100 feet away, and we're all staring at this balcony waiting for Brian and Olivia to come with our cameras pointed at it, and they end up going to a different balcony to do the proposal because of the people on the balcony. So Paul got the footage he belatedly realized and switched his camera angle, but it's really shaky because he's hiding in grass from the wrong angle, and I completely missed it. Like, I was hiding in the grass, afraid that everything I heard was Olivia and that she was gonna see me and I was gonna ruin it. And meanwhile, they were like all the way down at a different fucking balcony. I completely missed it. We sprinted off the beach afterward, like with a blanket over us so that she wouldn't see us. But by the time she got to the restaurant, she was just expecting me to be there. I should have popped up on the beach.
Oh.
I should have been like, congratulations, and then took their pictures because they were not happy with the pictures from their photographer.
It's sad.
Yeah. But anyway, it was a beautiful night. Like, afterward, we went to this restaurant on the water, and it was gorgeous, and like they were so happy, and it was a really nice dinner with family.
So my friend Kayla got married this year, and she had her bachelorette. She got married in October, and she had her bachelorette in Cabo in July. So I went to 2 bachelorettes this year, and this one was the most, like, it was so fun. It was one of the best trips I've had because Kayla and Matt, it was a joint bachelor and bachelorette trip. They're just so chill, and it felt like we were celebrating them, but it also felt like a vacation for everyone. We had such good food. I didn't get Montezuma's Revenge because it was just drinking. Actually had like the most normal system on this trip, which was great. And one of Kayla's friends is from Cabo, so she like hooked it up for us. Like, she was like on the TV shows on the local channels back in the day, so she knows a lot of people. So we had rented this really amazing cabana at this one resort, and I don't drink really. Like, I don't love drinking. It makes me very hot, and I already have a problem with sweating, so I don't love to drink. But and because I didn't really have anything to do with this, but I don't have to plan, I was just there and celebrating, which was great because I've had to plan for a lot of other people this year. I was really able to just relax. So we're at this cabana, and I get drunk. Okay, I've maybe been drunk 3 times in my life, and I'm like in a pool, like a nice, like, we have our own little private pool in this cabana, and I'm just living life, and it was just so fun and carefree. And I love all of her friends and her sister, and but we also have all of these cabana girls like just feeding us shots, and this is just like, I know this is just like not me at all. Like, I had my first club experience on this trip. That was so fun. I got drunk that night as well. Wasn't hungover once because I drink so much water, which was incredible. And I just want to go back to Cabo. But like in this cabana, it was like a crazy time. Kayla and I were like laughing, crying together. Like, I was like swinging her around in the pool, and some random guy came up to me and like gave me a shot and then like kissed me. I was like, whoa! And I was like, yes, I was just kissed. It was all good. We were all safe. And there was this very funny moment when her friend Lo and then Christy, who's from Cabo, they were like kind of dancing near the pool, and everyone was just having fun, and they ended up falling into this bush. And so Lo falls on her butt, like into like bamboo. It was like a bamboo bush. And then Christy falls forward. So there's just, and Lo is like looking at me, and she's like, help me. we already got in trouble because Matt like jumped into the pool, and like we were like trying to pull her out. It was a time. I've never had so much fun before, and so many carefree drunk moments, and it was all safe and good. And yeah, it was like the best trip ever, and I was so glad to experience that. It was. It was also very glamorous too.
All right. I've got one more thing down that marked my 2022, and that was the opportunity that Natasha and I got to host the premiere event for Vampire Academy, the Peacock show that came out this year. And
Yes.
there, it was amongst my troll deadline days that it was like a reprieve from the writing stress, and Natasha had been sewing her
D23
forever
stuff.
at the time. Yeah. So it was a reprieve for her as well. And I mean, it wasn't a perfect like set because it was 100 degrees in there. So we were a little dying, but we had so much fun. And there was the best part of the premiere didn't end up making it into the cut that they showed, but like the best game they played for Vampire Academy fans was Vampire Academy themed Boulder Dash. And this was so much fun to host because I just like had little quips to say left and right because I've read the books and like knew everything about it. And like we would present like the prompt, like what is Rose gonna say when this happens to this character? You know, it would be like, what is Rose gonna name her dog? That's what was one of them. And like then all of the cast would write on a whiteboard their answers, and we would get to read, like, you know, react to their answers and stuff. It was so fun, and like so much fun as a fan to see all their answers. And we were laughing so much and having the best time hosting that segment. And then it was cut out, and I was like, that was the best segment.
And the other good segment was that like Strigoi heads up 7-Up, and what is her name? She plays Lissa. Daniela Nieves. Yeah. And she like totally ate it in front of us, but she was like, I'm good, I got it. Like, and she won that whole game. She was great. It was a fun time.
It was very fun. The cast was just so fun, and so seeing them like banter about the different answers for Boulder Dash 2 was very fun. And I feel like they put what they thought would be, I don't know, fun for people who had no idea what Vampire Academy stuff was, but I think most of the people watching that were people who already know and love Vampire Academy, and it was such a bummer when that part didn't air. I was like, can I have that footage? Can I edit it? Post it? I didn't actually ask, but that's what I was thinking. But yeah, it was just such a really, really great day. It destroyed my feet because I was wearing heels for 12 hours standing. I still can't wear heels without pain right now, so hopefully we get back to a normal time. But it was really, really nice. The cast was great. We had such a beautiful time.
Yes. My last memory from 2022. I had a huge crush this year with a new friend, on a new friend, I guess. And he was invited to Heather's wedding. And
oh my God, you're getting specific.
I am getting specific. I'm a little over the crush now, so I feel like I can talk about it now. And but like I was just like enamored, guys. It was a rough time, but it was a fun time. So he was at the wedding, and Heather and Cole performed a few songs at the wedding. It was so fun. The first song, they had a huge like dancing performance. I was singing backup vocals along with the other bridesmaids, and they had their first dance, and then they performed the song from their first dance for everyone to slow dance to. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my time, because Heather had set this up. She wanted this to happen. She said, my only wedding gift is if you dance with him. I'm like, okay, that's never gonna happen. And so we're like up on the bride and groom's table. Like we're all up like on this riser. It's not a sweethearts table. It's like a whole king and queen table. I forget what it's called. And so like I'm walking down as they like are announcing the song, and I'm like in the middle like of the dance floor. I'm like, oh, who's gonna dance with me? Like just being like, who's gonna be the person to dance with me, maid of honor. I'm like, it better be so and so. But my brother and my brother's best friend was also there. I'm like, one of those two could work as well. And it was like the Red Sea parting. Like everyone was walking onto the dance floor, like getting ready to do a slow dance, and all I see is him like walking down the aisle, and he like, we lock eyes. I'm like, is it gonna happen? And he points at me. And then he smiles, and then like he crooks his finger at me like I'm in some fucking YA novel, and I'm like, it's happening. And anyways, we slow dance, and I don't remember anything I said. I was nervous the entire time, and I was just looking into the face of a very beautiful man crush that I had. And it was one of my favorite moments this year because it was very romantic to me, and I have not experienced anything like that ever. So I love that.
Oh, it was very exciting when you told me that this happened.
I was like, he picked me out of the crowd. He pointed at me. It was so great.
Oh my gosh. Well, those have been our top 22 moments, or not top 22 moments that made our 2022 for us. And we have a few other little stories that are a little juicier that we'll be talking about in our Fangirl Tea Time segment today. If you're in the Team Edward tier or up, you get that along with the show. If you are not a patron yet, that is one of our perks, and you can check out all of our other fun perks if you want to become a patron at patreon.com/thoseforkingfangirls. But before the show is over, we've got two more segments. We've got
oh my,
what do we have here? Fuck, marry, kill. Here we go.
Yay, I get to do it again.
Woo! What is it today, Natasha?
Today is Taylor Swift themed, and it is 3 of her albums. So we have Midnights, Lover, and Folklore. So which one do you want to fuck? Which one do you want to marry? Which one do you want to kill?
This hurts me, Natasha.
I know, I'm sorry.
I am gonna marry. Oh, damn it! I'm gonna.
It's really hard.
I'm gonna. Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna kill Lover, because Midnights is spanning her entire life, so you get like all sorts of experiences and wisdom and different perspective looks through Midnights. So I can't kill Midnights, and I'm like, Folklore is so sad, but it is like my favorite album of all time. So it's like, I have to marry Folklore and live in the sadness forever, even though like I'm debating, should I just fuck Folklore and like get all the sadness and have it in my memory, and then like marry Midnights, and then I get the best of all the worlds, because like Midnights really encompasses so much of Taylor's, what she's learned throughout her entire career, and it's got like bits and pieces from so many different albums that you feel while you're listening to it. So no, but I can't just fuck Folklore because I love it too much. So fuck Midnights, and I'm gonna marry Folklore and be sad and enjoy
sad girl
everything.
over here.
Sad girl marriage. No, never mind. I can't do it. No, I have to fuck Folklore and marry Midnights, so that way I will always be sad.
That way I won't always be sad. Okay, I'm gonna marry Lover because that's one of my favorite albums.
Okay.
And a lot of my favorite songs are on that. I feel so bad. I think I'm gonna kill Folklore. I love Folklore though, but I love both Folklore and Evermore together. I know. Did you just fall off your chair?
Fallen.
And I'm gonna.
I
I'm gonna fuck Midnights.
All right. So sadness.
Yeah.
That was a hard one.
Yeah.
All right. So we read chapters 10 and 11 of A Court of Thorns and Roses, which we're rereading very slowly through the pod. They were very short chapters, so we read 2 this week. And we're about to jump in to our discussion on those. If I can find the song. There we go. Chapter 10. All right. So these were 2 more next chapters for me. What were they rated for you? So we rate this on a system of either next chapter, interesting, or amazing chapter. Both were next chapters. I'm like, come on, let's go. What about you?
Yeah, I think they were next chapters. They were still exciting, and I'm like, oh, okay, wait, things are happening. Maybe things are turning a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, to summarize what happens, basically we meet the bog, which is it kind of conjures your biggest fears, I guess, if you look at it. It's kind of, I'm thinking boggart, like from the Potter series, and then it kills you, I guess. And she's on the hunt with Lucien when they come across it, and Lucien's like, don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it. It's gonna want you to look at it, don't look at it. So they don't look at it, and it goes away. And then we then meet another monster called the Puka. But before that, Feyre is up in her room, and out the window she sees her dad, and she is like, oh my god, my dad's here to rescue me. First of all, I'm like, I don't know how your dad would possibly be here to rescue you. But okay, she goes downstairs, she goes outside, she's like walking towards her dad, and then Tamlin finds her, and he's like, what are you doing? Are you trying to escape? And she's like, please, sir, my dad's here to save me.
Like the Puka scene, I'm just like, girl, you're so dumb. Come on. How is your crippled dad, like you've been there for like 2 days now. How has he found exactly where you are? Like, girl, use your head.
But then also Tamlin's really rude about it. So I'm just like, both of you reacting in annoying ways here. All these extremes. And there's also a scene where I think Feyre has a dream that she's murdering Andre, who is the wolf that she killed, except she's murdering him as a actual fairy form, and she feels really guilty about it. And that's all that kind of happens. I feel like this is the thing. I feel like we're introduced to these monsters to never really interact with them again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm just like, come on. She interacts with the Suriel, and we do talk about the Suriel one more time. She's just like, was that a Suriel? And they're like, no.
No. It just adds to like Tamlin's douchebaggery, because he was so upset that she and Lucien went on a hunt together after she told him she wanted to be alone. Like,
I know.
I'm hurt.
He's just like really butthurt at the kitchen table or at the dining table where they're eating. It's just like, can you just take a breath?
Yeah.
But that's really it. Like, we're not at the juice of the story. I really don't feel like we get to the juice of what makes this series until we go under the mountain. Like, truly. Until then.
Yes.
Until then,
it's
kind of just
building.
Like building, and it's stuff that's not really going to carry on. So yeah, that's basically that's the next 2 chapters, 10 and 11. I guess we're going to read chapter 12 and 13. We're doing chapters 12 and 13. We got to get through this to get to the good parts. That is our show today, ladies and gentlemen. Our show is edited by Jake Needleham and Alex Polis. The music is by Cole Jenkins with vocals by Heather Traska. Make sure you're following us for free on your favorite podcast app. because that way you won't miss any of our shows. You can follow us on Instagram at Those Four King Fangirls. You can email us with any feedback, those4kingfangirls@gmail.com. All the links are in our show notes. Thank you for joining us for our first 9 episodes this year. The next episode is going to be in 2023, and it's going to be another
Happy New Year, everyone.
Little special, so we're excited. Oh, we're about to go record Fangirl Tea Time, so if you're going to join us for that, we'll see you there. If not, we'll see you next Friday. I'm Christine.
I'm Natasha.
We will see you next Friday. Thank you so much for watching. And that's our show.